Well, on December 20th, 1978, police arrested Chicago resident John Wayne Gacy for horrific murders that would shock the nation. Our own Becky Anderson sat down with Sam Amarante, the attorney who defended Gacy, and co-author Danny Broderick about their new book, John Wayne Gacy, Defending a Monster, in this week's edition of Authors Revealed.
Welcome to Authors Revealed. I'm Becky Anderson. We have an incredibly interesting and fascinating show for you. We have Judge Sam Amarante and Danny Broderick with their new book. It's called John Wayne Gacy, Defending a Monster. Gacy, wanted to fire you during, yes, because he definitely didn't like what he was playing.
He was really upset with us because he was listening to these psychologists talk about him, and he says, well, they can't say that about me, and they can't say that about me, and I was always against the insanity defense, so he wanted to fire. Right. So I think he wanted to hire F. Lee Bailey or something.
Oh, yeah,
and he wrote a letter to F. Lee Bailey and all this stuff. Okay. And then there's typical John Gacy, right in the middle of all that, when he's confronted with the situation, like Grip will confront him, well, do you really want to do this? Well, no, I don't really want to do this. And he backpedaled and backed off the whole thing and said, I'm happy with my lawyers. And all the way at the end of the case, when it was over and he was sentenced to death, he was the only person in the courtroom not shedding a tear. Right. The judge was crying. Mata and I were crying. It was like a balloon with the air let out of us. I don't know if the prosecutors were crying, but they were all emotional. Mm-hmm. Every juror in the box was crying. Gacy was smiling at a totally inappropriate affect, went in the lockup, and he asked us if he could speak with Bill Kunkel, Terry Sullivan, Bob Egan, and Jim Varga, the prosecutors. He wanted to talk to them. They went back there. He congratulated them on doing a great job at trial.
Yeah,
that's the kind
of just incredible. Yeah,
crazy guy he was.
Danny, how did the writing of this book affect you? I mean,
it was creepy to me, but it doesn't affect me that much. So much so that I had his suits,
which I don't want.
I had the suits that he wore at trial, and a bunch of puzzles that he put together and then shellacked and signed, all of that stuff in my house. And some of my kids' friends were like afraid to go in the garage and all that kind of stuff.
I don't blame them.
I don't either.
I had that stuff in my house.
That stuff doesn't bother me.
Talk about affecting your health. Now, it sounds a little superstitious, but I had those things in my house for years. I had a lot of different things happen in my family that I had a cat one time that went up to the box. I had a box full of the suits that Danny has now, and I had his leather jacket, that black leather jacket, and his wallet and all those things, which I subsequently gave away. And the cat went up to the box and started sniffing it, and his tail fluffed up, got all bushy, his fur went up on end, he started hissing at the box, and he ran away.
Thanks for joining me on Authors Revealed. It was a fascinating and interesting show with Judge Sam Amarante and Danny Broderick and their new book, John Wayne Gacy, Defending a Monster. Back to you, Dolly.